So, good morning, everyone. Thank you for the presentation, and also thank you, the Alliance, for inviting us. We are very pleased to be here and to share this workshop with you because we hope that it will be very useful for us, we hope, and also for you. So let me share the presentation. We entitled this presentation BookDAPer, a tool to advance sustainability in the publishing sector. First of all, let us introduce ourselves. My colleague, Marc Carrera, bueno, ¿puedes presentarte tú? ¿O? No. From Pollen Editions, she's publisher and also she's expert in eco-edition. And she will be giving this presentation together with me. My name is Marta Fonolleda. I am the director of the Institut of Eco-edition. First of all, let us clarify that we use both terms as synonymous, eco-edition and eco-publishing. So it refers to publishing practices that apply sustainability criteria through the publishing processes. But we use it as synonyms. Our institute is called Institut de l'Ecoedició, Eco-edition Institute, but it refers to Eco-Publishing Institute as well. Just to present the institute, the Institute is a cooperative whose aim is to promote, certify, and disseminate sustainability within the publishing sector. We are 37 members with a lot of independent publishers, and also we work together, LEITAT, which is a technological center, is our technological partner, and LEITAT is specialized in sustainability assessment. We will divide our presentation into three main areas, which correspond to the three functions of our institute. First of all, we will talk about calculating the environmental impact of publication. Then we will talk about minimizing this impact, and then about communicating this impact. Let's start with the first one, which is understanding the environmental impact of publishing books. To calculate this impact, our technological partner, LEITAT, uses a standardized life cycle assessment methodology. Maybe you know this methodology. It allows us to evaluate the environmental impacts of a book or a magazine through its entire life cycle, from the extraction of raw materials to the end of its life. You can find more information if you want in the website of the project Greening Books, and also in our website, in the website of Institute of Eco-edition. No, sorry. See. Just to give an idea of the scale, through these calculations, we have been able to conclude, to conclude that the environmental impact of the Spanish publishing sector in 2024 was more than 100,000 tons of carbon dioxide. Just to give an idea of the scale and to provide some context and help assess whether this impact is high or is low, we can refer to the following comparisons. The Barcelona-Madrid air shuttle emits every year nearly 10,000 times more carbon dioxide than the entire Spanish publishing industry. And also, one digital reading device is equivalent than reading 33 books of more than 300 pages during 15 years. So we can conclude that comparatively, the book sector has a low environmental impact. And we know that it has a strong cultural impact. Even though the environmental impact is small, there is still room for improvement to reduce it further. And now we are going to explain why, how. The second function of the Institute is this, to explore ways to reduce the environmental impact of publishing. Our studies conclude that for both systems, offset printing and digital printing books, the highest environmental impact comes from raw materials, especially paper, and also from distribution. Taking this into account, we established 15 criteria of eco-edition or eco-publishing. The three most important criteria are linked to the highest impact. Printing the books close to the distribution area, this is local production. Using FSC, Forest Stewardship Council certified paper, and also calculating and communicating the ecological impact of the book. When these criteria are applied, significant environmental saving has generated. If we were to extrapolate the data to the entire Spanish publishing sector, this criteria could help to reduce important amount of the carbon dioxide, waste, energy, and also water. So we know the impact of publishing books. We know also that we can produce saving with this eco-edition, eco-publishing criteria, but how to do it? Which tool can we use to do it? Now my colleague, Mar, will explain and will show you how to do this using our tool, BookDAPer.
Thank you very much, Marta. A very clear review on the situation. BookDAPer is a tool that was created during the European project called Greening Books, bearing in mind all the data of the studies that Marta Fonolleda mentioned. And it's a tool, as she said at the beginning, a very easy tool to use for these three objectives: calculating, minimizing, and also communicating to the readers, which is, in the end, one of the objectives of all the publishing houses. Before going to the BookDAPer, I would like to explain a little bit more the criteria of eco-publishing. Now we have these 15 criteria that it's basically different options that we've been using during all our career. Pollen was created in a printing house, in a green printing house in 2011, and from that, with a lot of other organizations, printing houses, Greenpeace organization, and other actors, we've been developing this criteria that it can be adapted to every context, from the different publishers that you are here today. I'm sure you have a lot of criteria that you are using and that can be similar to this, of this list, or other. And that, I think that's an important point, because what we are presenting today is a tool that allows all the publishers in the room to use and try and assess whether or not these criteria that you have in your publishers, in your countries, in your areas, that if this impact is better, it's bigger or it's low. No, it's a way of minimizing the impacts. But the tool that now we are presenting, it's based on a software, is useful for the criteria that you create. Well, before following, you see that the fourth criteria is eco-design. No? Design is an important part of course, the impacts that are afterwards. The management of organizations, if they are environmental managed organizations or not. And we will see other aspects using the tool, like inks or toner hazards, depending on the type of printing that you are using. No? So you're using offset or digital. As you see in the point 7. Also, another important thing, no? The plates, the finishes and packaging, no? What the printing house is doing about this part of the industrial actions, and also a decision that you can do about print run, no? What's the print run that, apart from economical reasons, no, that are one of the reasons, as you may know, and I think we share. There is the other important decision about how many books we are going to put in the market, and to avoid that there are books that are not sale or not distributed. Then work licenses, energy, ethical banking, and other social measures that we use in terms of having the workers happy in our organizations, and compensation with criteria, that it's another interesting criteria. Having seen all that, we can go for this small test that we will do with the help of Marta using BookDAPer. BookDAPer, that is, as Marta said, this tool that it's an environmental product declaration, a simplified environmental product declaration, that it's a way of showing the impacts and the savings for each book. Each book has a declaration that we will see. Before going to the BookDAPer, we'll see that we are promoting that every book has in the book. We will show an example and in this case of Pollen, our publisher. I don't know if you see. Maybe you don't see the book. Yeah, now. I think now you can see.
It's a bit blurred.
Yeah, it's blurred. Now, you will see a book, like a middle grade book called Climate Rebels. This book, it's a book that we've just launched, and Pollen. And at the last page, you might see what we will create now all together, which is this environmental product declaration, a simplified version designed by the Institute to communicate the impacts and especially the savings. Let's go for a practice. Now, I'm not a very technological person, but for sure I have Marta next to me. Yeah.
We have to change. We have to stop
the sharing,
and
we will change the sharing. Yeah, thanks, Marta. I'm glad she's here. All right. This is the website of the BookDAPer tool. As we said, Institut, Eco-Publishing Institute, we promote this environmental dimension of publishing sector all around the world. And especially, we have this tool that it's unique in the world, that is useful at this moment, at the present, in all the countries in the world, because it has standardized data for books, that you can as you will see now in a second, use the parameters of the printing and also the decisions that you as publishers do to see the impacts in the publisher. Now you will see that it's in Catalan. We will change to English. We'll put my password and we access. Here you can see the ecotag lists are the different ecotags. We call it ecotag, but it's also ecological backpack, or that is technically what I said, environmental product declaration. We will go to one, the climate rebels that we see here, that it corresponds to the book that I just showed. Here you can see that you have the general information of the book. Yeah, you can see, the registered number of this ecotag, and then the title, author, all this information that you can apply and introduce. An important part, it's the type of publication book. Here, this tool is it's applied for printed books and magazines. So, and in the publishing houses that we have you print, it's the tool that you might need. And it's important to say that the printer type or the type of printing that we are using. In this case, with Climate Rebels, we use offset. Then you change the information, you save it, and you go to the EcoBack. In this section, you must enter the data to obtain these impacts and also the savings. And these calculations can help you reduce the impact, as we said at the beginning. And also, you can use it to see and investigate new parameters of eco-publishing. That's a very important point that we wanted to share today, because I said it's prepared for all the countries, but that doesn't mean that it's exactly adjusted for all the contexts. But it's what you might see here are the conventions of a book, a standardized book. Let's see it. And we would like to see also your reactions at the end of the presentation about what you think. EcoBack, well, we see the general data of the EcoBack has information about the print run, the number of copies. Also, if it's individually wrapped by plastic or not, that is a problem that we are facing. Then we have the coverage, the information about the kilometers of distribution. That's very important. We see 300, 500, minus 300, minus 500, minus 900, or the known distance. If you know the distance, you can enter. And the information, for example, no distance, you could fill it with the information that means the distance traveled from in this case, the printing house and the warehouse of distribution. That's a very important point, because as we said before, it's one of the parameters that it has impact. Let's leave it as it was. While we are changing this information, we see that there are changes on the right margin. We see that we can see the data evolving. For instance, in this case, we are in the distribution. If we change to 900 kilometers, okay, before you see the carbon footprint as 782, now it changed. You see, it's 1,200 approximately grams of dioxide of carbon, grams equivalent. That's important because you might see this data and it gives you a reference. But you will see at the beginning that seems just the detail, but that it has consequences in the resulting ecological backpack, and especially gives information about the savings, because the decision that you take here about the distribution has a translation to the ecological backpack. Let's follow with the percentage of returns. Here in Poland, we have the talk about with our retailing, with distribution, and they said that we have 5% of returns, no, from the bookshops to the warehouse. But it can be adapted, no? Percentage, in this case, 27 could correspond to Spanish average, but in every country have different casuistics and different phenomenon, so you can adjust. Then publication format, that's easy. The spine, it's also calculated automatically. This tool gives us information that sometimes we don't know, because we have at the right margin, no, carbon footprint, waste, water consumption, energy consumption, and raw materials. So we see that it's not only the obsession with a carbon, no, we transcend that, we go further. But also gives information, practical information like weight, no, the weight of the publication. It's very useful for postal sendings, and also, no, the spine that is useful for the designing process. Then we give here the information about the electricity consumption. That at the end we will like to know more about your relationship with the printing houses. But to follow this criteria, you have to have a very good dialogue with your printing house. And in this case, we put how much percentage of renewable energy they are using. No, the electricity consumption, it's calculated for the program by the program, but you could also, in this case, put if you knew it, but we don't know, we put like the one that it's already calculated by the software, but we can change the percentage of renewable energy. Now it's 1/3 in our printing house, but recently they said that they passed to 100%. So in the next book that we'll publish, we will change it. And here, the design hours that you can also fill, or there is a rate, a calculation that it's 0.58 hours, so half an hour per multiplied by the pages of the book. Okay, let's follow. EcoPact follows with the cover, asking things about the cover. You see it's detailed information, but information that all the publishers know and the designers know, of course. The type of covers, if it's soft or hard cover. Also know the format, if there is a jacket, flap or not. And then, very important, the color printing ink. No? Here we can see as well, that depending on what you choose, if it's monochromatic or the 4 colors, CMYK, you can see the difference. Also, the type of printing ink. These studies that we did with the technological center like that, and the printing house that used for the first study gives us information about the difference of using oils from origin that are vegetal or mineral origin. No? That also has an impact on the data on the right side. Then the machine format or the plate format, it's another information that all the printing houses have, and they give it if you ask it, as you may know. And then the recycled content of the paper. As Marta said at the beginning, 3 of the most important criteria: one is local production or not, then the certified paper, and the 3rd, the communication of the impact and savings. The second criteria, it's about paper. We strongly advise of using, of course, certified paper, because it's a criteria of eco-publishing. And Greenpeace recommendations also add to use certified and recycled 100% paper. We don't use it in all our books because it's not possible. Sometimes it's possible, sometimes it's not possible. But we put it here, the percentage you can adjust depending on the percentage of recycle. Then the cover has the 2 other informations about dust jacket if there is has a dust jacket or not, and it has a commercial ban or not. That are simply two details that also have impact, of course, because it's material. And let's go to the inside of the book, the inside of BookDAPer. Here we see again the different parameters that we have, and we wanted to show you, looking at the calculator in the right hand side, that if we change this 4 plus 4, Semica, we change it to monochroma, we might see that you can see the difference also of the carbon footprint. That there is a difference, and it says the different parameters that are implied. Again, it's a way of seeing if we put it with 2 inks, what would happen. We might know according to the data. That at the beginning, it's like, oh, it's just information. I don't know how to interpret that. Oh, let's see that. We will see that. For that, Institut, Eco-Publishing Institute has a service of a company and gives information about how to use it and interpret the data. Then let's leave it as it was. Type of printing, as we said, we've covered that. The type of plates, if it has a stochastic screening or not, that it's a system, as you might know, that uses points, dots in the printing process, and saves ink in the process. Then the plate format, again, the paper type, if it's coated or offset, that's regarding the paper. And again, the recycled amount of percentage of the paper. Here, let's try again about this. Let's leave it in 0, because some books that we have, some books that we have, as I said, we cannot use a paper that's 100% recycled and certified. All the books that we publish are certified, FSC, but not all has recycled. And we've seen that it has significantly increased, and that has given information because this parameter has reached 1,365, that it's the maximum carbon footprint that we've seen until now. Let's leave it as it was. And then the last part, it's regarding the veracity of the data. Here, we introduce the budget of the printing house, or in this case, it's the budget, to see like where is based this printing house, especially the address of the production, and also to see that there is the certified papers in the budget. So that's important, because the budgets have to show this information about the certified paper. And here the publisher introduces the budget and asks for data check. The Institute then, during different hours, does the verification, and it's possible to download the next part. And here we will go to see, for example, what's the last part here. Here. I want to see the. Here, the Kovac, Now we are here with the real Ecovac. I did a copy for you to show you and to change it. But this is the Ecovac, the ecological background that it was published, and we can see here all the data, the summary, and the eco-publishing stamp. We call it stamp, but it's also like a sort of label, or a label, the eco-label, as we said, environmental product declaration. Here, when Institute has verified the 3 parameters, local production, certified paper, and that you are going to print this environmental declaration in your book, that at that stage you cannot verify that, but there is an annual auditoria, no? We call it as assessment, no? An annual assessment where Institute sees all the books that have been published to see if there is this third criteria, the show of this label. And here you can choose before publishing the format, the orientation, no? The practical layout details. And let's see, let's see in the PowerPoint,
Sí.
or let's export as what we prefer. Yeah. And here we've exported this label, and you see, as we said, which are the three criteria that are verified, and let's see the information that you've been seeing on the screen. Now, designed in a way, shown in a way that you might see the impacts, but also to see the savings. That's an important part. In colored versions, like this one, it's in color and it's green. It seems a silly thing, but it's not, because our eye goes to the green part, and we might, as independent publishers, strongly focus on the savings, because they show this criteria, the using of this criteria, as Marta has very well explained at the beginning, help us to save different impacts and give us this information, not only carbon footprint, different parameters we save. And we show it here, the savings, and we put an equivalent to help day-to-day people, like me, before knowing this tool, to know what this represents, because you can say, okay, but the data has to be interpreted. The carbon footprint of this copy, as you might see, is equivalent to 1.5 milliseconds of operations in Google. That's an information that, as Marta said, shows the real impact of a book. This is a single copy that has this impact. In the past, we used other equivalents, for example, bus kilometers, like the distance that the bus does in kilometers. That's another equivalent that might be used. But now we are promoting this other, because as you maybe think as well, there is like a lot of misunderstandings about the digital impact of books, like the digital books, or the digital wall, this part of that. If you don't print it, is more environmentally, which is really false. For that, we decided to introduce this equivalent to our ecological backpack. Now I'm going to go back to the. I don't know if until now we have some questions about the BookDAPer, which would be a good moment now for questions about the tool, and we will continue to do the last part of the presentation.
I see a question on the chat from Annette.
And it is saying, you also need to reset the kilometers of transport. I think it is still on international. Yeah. What do you mean? Please, Annette, explain us more the comment.
No, it was before, because you didn't go back on and you did everything back with the other, but you didn't. So I was afraid you have your own data wrong now, but don't worry. Go on.
We have help from Annette. Thanks a lot. Other points or comments, Marta? Maybe you want to stress some point or some idea?
No, maybe if you have questions, or if you want to comment something, maybe you can go back and we can put these tools here.
If not, we will go to.
I have one question. how do you use this stamp or sticker? Is it possible to include it directly in the book, or you use it more for promotions, like on the stand or in marketing of the projects? Or is it really possible before I print the book that I'll have this all information and just simply print it in the project?
Yes. You have all this information and also the stamp before printing the book. And then normally if you want put the seal, no, you have to print this information in the book because it's a product
environmental product declaration.
Environmental product declaration. So you have to show this information.
It's a requisite, no? It's like a condition of the environment, that it's an environmental product declaration, that you show it, no? You must show it in the book.
Sí. Normally we put, all the publishers put this information at the end of the book. Here is very big, but you can put it smaller if you want. And also in the back, you can put this. Shows that this book is eco-published. So you have this outside the book, and inside the book you have all the environmental information.
Yeah, and also you can use this information for your projects, no? To show annually, for example, you do a declaration of the impact, no? The impact that all your books have had and the savings of all the books you've had, no?
See, this is very useful because this tool, BookDAPer, allows you to have a lot of data of your publication, all the impacts, footprint, carbon footprint, waste, water, all the impacts, and also the savings you achieved applying this criteria. This is very useful because you can elaborate an environmental report about your publishing house, no?
Publishing house.
Publishing house.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I have a few more questions. What is the feedback from people who are using it already? What is the feedback of publishers and their customers, if they react to it? And I had the second question, but I'll tell you later. So,
the reaction is very good. Publishers that are using this tool are very happy because they can take decisions and they can explore. Also, this tool is used by design studies just to take decisions and design a product, and also in academic context in universities or design studies. And they are very, very happy and they feel very comfortable with this software. Publishing houses also are those who are members of Institute of Eco-Publishing are very happy and are very comfortable also with this label, no?
Yeah. Yeah, actually these 37 members, as before Marta mentioned, there are a lot of independent publishers, also printing houses, magazines. No, there is a vast magazine that has is a media as well, and they have a project where all they are publishing books about agriculture, no? And urban agriculture, and in that project they feel that all the readers are really appreciating this sensitivity. No, in a sense, if we publish books about ecology or this perspective, no, it's kind of compulsory to think about it. Doesn't mean to use BookDAPer, but I'm sure you are doing things at the same perspective. No, you wanted to add anything?
No, it's a way to differentiate those who are following sustainable criteria or sustainable principles, I don't know how to say it, is a way to differentiate, to position.
To give a value, an added value
Sí.
to the organizations that believe in this, no? Like it's important. No? And the important part is that this doesn't give extra work, no? That it's a tool that when you are before the printing moment, no? It's not the moment where you use it. You have to use it at the beginning when you design the project, when you decide if the book is going to be printed digitally or offset through the offset system, for example. Then you might see the impacts, no, and according to the print run. But I don't know if Barbara, you wanted to add the other question that you have.
Maybe. I remember I learned some time ago about some countries that if you fulfill the criteria of ecological behaving, you get also more points through the funding from the state institutions, for example. So it's just a comment that it may be interesting in some countries where they have then the proof for funding that they are really fulfilling the expectations on green politics, etc. But I wanted also to ask you, what is the price of this tool? Because in many countries, if you want to have this green label, etc., it's quite expensive to have the stamp. So this was my second question about the price.
Yes.
The first part is about like the government, no, and the subsidies. I don't know if you want that I ask this first part. In our experience, that it's true. Now, no, following the European legislation, especially, but other legislations, and in the case of Catalonia, no, now the production subsidies for the book in Catalan that want to have a subsidy has to have or certified paper or this label, no, this stamp, no, that now it's compulsory from last year. That no is really like a change, no, that's gonna no, that's been following other countries already have, others not, no, but it's a tendency, and we are seeing that, no, and of course it's very useful for that.
And about the prices, we have different kinds of license.
Yeah.
If you want just to explore and use this tool just to take decisions, but not publish the stamp, this label, is very cheap, and you can pay, if you are a single organization, you can pay 200 euros per year just to explore and to take decisions and to make your calculations. If you want to have the complete license, you have to pay 1,000 euros per year, and you can calculate illimited licenses.
Stamps, you mean.
Stamps. And also we have a special license for aggregation or for federations, or for example, the Alliance, organizations that have members, they can pay 1,500 euros per year, and then all the members can benefit of this license. This is a good option for the Alliance, for example, because the Alliance has a lot of members, and all the members will benefit of this tool.
The Alliance is 900 or more now. What's the numbers?
Yes, more than 900, yes. 900. But just to answer, that's why we organize this workshop. It's also to show the tool to a publisher and have a reaction and take a decision. Then after that, to see if we can have the collective rate and the collective interest, yes, for the tool. And there is a question from Ronnie in the chat.
Yeah. All right. And Ronnie, I'm sorry I could turn on my mic since I'm in public space and it's noisy. I would like to ask, is this method of assessment international applicable? I mean, for example, for truth check, printing in Indonesia is definitely much cheaper than in Europe, as also the wage and the living cost. Will it change the assessment of the international impact? Also, for example, that's one question. The other, also, for example, the distance. It takes 2,700 kilometers just to distribute books from Jakarta to Ambon, which is still Indonesia territory and not international. Since the conditions are different, are the assessment also different? Thanks a lot, Ronnie, for the question. Let's separate both questions. First, if is this international applicable?
Now this tool, I think, is useful nowadays to calculate and to have these impacts and these savings. And it can be useful also to print this stamp, but we will have to think about it. We have to adapt some methodology. I think this is something we can do. It is not difficult, but we have to think about some parameters and some proceedings.
Although it's applicable, because applicable meaning that you might show the data, and it's a data that has calculations based on standard books, that's like used data that it's inside the software, no? It would be applicable, yes, but with these adjustments, of, for example, the good question of after, that it says that is not international. For that, in the presentation, we use kilometers and not if it's local, because this parameter, has had a lot of doubts and in the different contexts where we use this BookDAPer. So for that, the important part, it's not the adjective, local, international, but the kilometers behind. I don't know if you want to add anything.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's a good question. We knew that it was a question that would appear because of course it's a tool that it's useful around the world. And in the case, as Marta said, it has to be adjusted in some parameters, but it's an easy thing to do. I mean, we are constantly adapting the BookDAPer, because we have a panel of experts that periodically they meet and they suggest different adjustments. And also, we have a lot of connection also with Colombia and Mexico that they are also using BookDAPer as an example for their context. Ronnie, is replied the question, or you want to add anything more? We can read on the chat if you want. Thank you. With Ronnie, we met in Literal in the fair in Barcelona. It was a long time ago, and it was great to talk about aliens. We were so happy to be, we are in the aliens. It was good to see Ronnie.
Maybe we can finish the presentation.
The presentation and then we open the debate, because I would ask every one of you to comment a little bit, because it's not every day that we have the opportunity to talk about a person from Turkey, a person from Germany, well, different Indonesia, and also, and to finish here, we've seen the book that we've shown, and the stamp or the label that we've shown. Printing, as Marta explained very well, at the end of the book. In the book or in the credit page, or and also to show the stamp that this number of the label at the back of the book. Institute of Ecodition, we have like a goal that it's one to promote, as Marta said, more important, a lot of important to calculate these impacts and savings, to minimize the impacts and to increase these savings, no, and communicate all this information to the readers, and also to study and investigate to fit the tool and to fit all these criteria. No, these 15 criteria that we show has to be really modified, amplified, and we have to add more criteria to that according to the new developments that public sector has, or according to the problems that we have to tackle. Here is an example of materials that we published, one with Veracruz in Mexico, a very interesting magazine dossier informed that we have. Then we have like a lot of public partners, institutions that are interested in eco-publishing, because if we said that the book sector has not a big impact, not like transport or other sectors, but that we have a responsibility, institutions also feel the same, that if they publish in printed, they should follow good practices. So with Miteco, with the Minister of Spain, in culture and also green transition, we've had a lot of relationship, and we developed this public guide with them, to influence all the ministers that are printing, publishing, publish publications that are all. And also with Catalan government, as we said, they have also a plan or a program that is trying to green all the sectors, the cultural sectors, from theater to cinema, from literature. And in the case of book, we developed this study, Guia de l'Ecoedició, Criteris per un sector editorial més sostenible, that we publish and that we are very proud of it. We have other materials that you might see on the website, with also press clipping, but especially studies, some in Spanish, some in Catalan, some in English, you might see. And finally, we put this as last page, just to remind us, as Barbara said, that in terms of public subsidies and in the case of European Union, but in other parts of the world as well, the importance of really taking this topic and believe it, that it's important to introduce to the organization, but also taking into account that it can be translated to subsidies and public. So we don't do that for subsidies, because if not, we wouldn't have done all this long path until now, from 2011, but we do that because we believe it, because we think that as publishers we have a responsibility and that we want a better world. It's for that we are here today, and not for other reasons. You want to finish, Marta? That you start very well the presentation.
No, and
Can I ask a question?
Sí.
Yeah.
I was wondering actually if something similar is being done for digital content, because I have done some research myself about the environmental impact of the printed book, and it is much less than what people expect, as you well have demonstrated here. Because people think we're just cutting down every kind of tree, whereas it's not true. There are a lot of ways of producing. So this is more or less transparent, because it also has a very long history. The printed book has a very long history. So we have all the precedents of all the calculations in the 20th century, which we carried on. And so you can now, this is a very good model. This is beautiful to show what the impacts are. But what I wonder is, what is not really seen or calculated is the digital part of this. Have you done any research on that?
Yes, we started, and we have to finish this investigation, this research, and to calculate the parameters comparing digital publication and paper publication. This is a immediate future project we have. Adapt the BookDAPer to digital publication. We are with our technological partner. We have some calculations, but we have to finish this. This is a big project.
Because the big mistake is because people don't see, they think it's cheap, they think it's clean,
yes,
they think it's not harming the environment. Whereas we know, unfortunately, that it has a much awful impact.
Yes.
And for me, for Turkey, this is seen as this chic thing. Okay, some people are aware, but they think books are obsolete. The printed books are already backward technology. And, the forward technology is always better. They think it is less harmful. Whereas, as you know much better than me, the awful impact is much worse at that area. That's why I'm very interested. If you do something like that, I would really be very happy to be informed about that also.
Yeah. We, as Marta said, is an ongoing project. The experts are also focusing on the studies that talk about the big data centers that are not only behind the seas, but also in countries that around the world, with publishers that are in alliance around the world, and that we are following that because, as you said, Mute, it's very it's the key, that not seeing thing, that the apparently not doing any harm. Like when the industries were situated at the outskirts of the city, or that we couldn't see the impact of that industries. No, we live in a not polluted place. Well, let's see. So yeah, it's something that we will follow up, and that we would love to keep update the alliance and give information about what we are doing about it. Thank you for the point.